Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the latest Victorinox Damascus limited edition for the year 2011. It is the second knife that Victorinox make in collaboration with swissbianco as a Damascus limited edition, and we already work on some more knives. So this year the knife comes again in that nice box. We have on the back side of the box the number. What we see here first is the number of the knife. At the end it's the 11 for the year. We see that it is a climber with the Damascus blade and ebony wood, limited edition, the barcode, and over here we have the serial number of the knife and the complete number of knives that were made. We had this year 4,000 pieces made of that knife. So that's how the back side looks. The front is like this. Then you take out the paper. The knife has a nice display case, so you can already put it like this in your collection if you want. If we open it up, this year we had here no rubber band. It's a new solution that holds the knife. We can take the knife out. In the box itself we can open the lid. There is the manual as usual, and below is exactly like last year the paperwork. It's pretty much the same paperwork, just a limited edition 2011. I'm gonna zoom in a bit on the English version. It has different colors, different languages on it. So that's the English version. The blade is made out of pattern welded steel, basically Damascus steel, what we would call a Damascus steel, made in Sweden by Damasteel. I would like to say thank you to Damasteel and Per Billgren. Those people there did help out a lot and make a great product. So this is inside the box. To the knife itself. It's a climber Swiss Army knife. Typical climber with the scissor, 91mm. What is different on this one, of course, the Damascus blade. You see that the main blade is made out of Damasteel Damascus stainless steel material. Then we have the scales, ebony wood. And what is special is the shield. The Victorinox shield is metal and inlaid into the wood. It's not just a tampon print or something cheap. They actually made a metal shield and inlaid it in the knife handle. You also see the scratches, the finishing on this side of the wood is different, a little bit different looking than on the back side of the wood. That's more for the technical interested people of you. They did inlay the shield and then had to sand it a bit smooth. But all in all, this job is really well made. So we have the Damascus blade, the wood scales, and number 3 is by the corkscrew. We have 2011 stamped in. the year stamp, and we have the serial number on top. In this case it's number 1087, and below is number 4000, the complete number that they made. So those are the three differences in that special Swiss Army knife. Some people did complain that Damasteel is not a Damascus steel, which is just not true. Damascus steel was made always in a couple of different versions, and there was a lot of evolution going on, and we would call Damascus steel pretty much any steel that is made out of two different materials, so we get a pattern out of that. So what Damasteel did, they basically pioneered the stainless steel Damascus, the industrial made Damascus. It's still a limited production what they do with limited patents and all that, but it's basically the first real popular stainless steel version of a Damascus pattern welded steel. To go a bit more into the details, if you forge Damascus like I do as a blacksmith, you can't easy forge weld stainless steel together if you don't have a vacuum, and that is pretty hard to do with a normal blacksmithing equipment. So Damasteel Per Billgren did pioneer a way of making stainless steel Damascus using powdered metal, and he basically sintered those metals together, and then he make the pattern into that metal by press forming. So this is a high-tech solution, and the results is unique in a couple of ways. It's first stainless steel, and it's second powder metallurgically made stainless steel. So the powder metallurgically part helps us a lot with the quality. That means the grain of the actual cutting edge of the whole material itself, it's way smaller. And this is what we want, because basically as a knife get dull, there is tiny pieces on the very edge breaking off or get rounded off. On the very edge, it's microscopic small, and those small parts break off, and there is what we feel as the knife gets dull. So with powder metallurgical made steel, the grain is way smaller. That means that product stays sharp longer. So if we have a Damascus steel that could cut really well because it's carbon based and non-stainless steel, but this, because it's stainless steel and powder metallurgically made, we have basically two advantages of it being stainless steel and cut longer. So Damasteel was first-hand a decision Mr. Elsener and myself did make to use this material, this great product from Sweden, in the limited editions, mainly because the focus was to have a stainless steel Damascus. It's a pocket knife. We still think the people gonna use it, at least some of them, and it's needed that it is stainless steel. So that much about the material. Some may not agree, but it is how it is. So this knife basically arrives in a box of 6 pieces. We have here the original box from Switzerland. The box is made in Switzerland too. We have the serial numbers inside the box. The lid have some information too, the number, the manufacturing, the color, and the quantity. As we open that up, we have 6 pieces of the box that I just did show inside this box. To go back to the pattern, I'm gonna open up a second one to show you the difference on the patterns. That's the one that I just opened, and this one is what we did have a look at it. So you see, yes, the camera see it, the pattern is always different, and these are only 2 samples. The pattern is always different. It's basically, you can look at it as like a piece of wood. You will never have the same pattern in 2 pieces of wood. It depends also how you cut the wood, and then you have a different pattern again. On the back side we see that pretty well too. So the pattern is always unique. And to keep these knives apart, of course, there is on each one the serial number behind the corkscrew, so we can figure out which one is which. So as we grind the blades at the factory this time, some of the Damascus knives I made by hand too, the blade looks basically like this. This is Damasteel that is not edged. It's hard to see the grain on it. Yeah, it's quite, yeah, maybe we see that on the camera. There is grain all over, but it's not edged yet. Yeah, on the back side we see it a bit better here. That's basically the same material, the same grinding, and this is pre-or we edge it. So that's how it looks. Yeah, that much it is on the Damascus limited edition for 2011. It were 4,000 pieces made for the year 2011. 100 pieces came to USA and 60 to Canada. The rest it got shipped all over the world. I had a couple in Switzerland and a couple in USA. So I just hope we're gonna make a bit more for the year 2012. What kind of Swiss Army knife it will be, I can't tell you yet, but it will be for sure a nice Swiss Army knife. And at the very end I want to mention the 111mm Damascus Swiss Army knife that I work currently on a handmade run for Christmas 2011. That will come relatively soon too.